you all. Welcome to another edition of Sky Blue Fans TV. Well, it's 2-11. Yes, 2 defeats in 11 now. After that horror show at Derby on Tuesday night, we bounced back with a fantastic 3-0 victory over Sunderland yesterday in what a lot of people are saying the best performance of the season. Well, we'll find out the panel and their views on the performance. We have got Chris Baker, who will be joining us at some stage. He's just got a few technical problems to sort out, and Chris will be with us. We have got Claudio and we have got Vicky. Good evening, both.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are we all? Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Nice smiley faces, which I like. Chris Baker will be joining us, I say, as well at some stage. We just had a few connection problems with Chris, but hopefully he will be joining us to discuss this fantastic 3-0 victory yesterday, which we'll get on to as well. We've got no competition for us tonight, unfortunately, but we've got plenty else to discuss, loads of stuff to discuss, and there's going to be loads of comments, I'm sure, after yesterday's win. I think Chris has actually just joined us, actually. Here, let's just bring him on. Hopefully. There we are.
Hello. In out. Shake it all about.
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear. Good evening, mate, and we'll start with you. We'll get straight into it. We're going to have loads of comments, obviously, as the night goes on. We'll grow, and Claudio will deal with all them as they come in. But we'll start with you, Chris. Team selection then yesterday. Let's start with it. Defence, Bidwell out, De Silva in. Now, I went to Derby, and so did you on Tuesday night. We've seen a horror show from Bidwell. Well, not just Bidwell, the whole of the team, really. Were you expecting that change? I think I was.
Yeah, I was expecting that. It didn't surprise me at all. And you have to say, I felt De Silva had a very, very good game on yesterday. So it was the right decision. Frank's got his decision right, and it's benefited the club yesterday. So a very good performance from Jay De Silva.
Yeah, I mean, I felt sorry for Bidwell in the way because he has put some good performances in over the last few games, but he just wasn't at it on Tuesday night, and I think it needed to be changed. And fair play to De Silva. He did come in. He's not always been everybody's choice in that position, but he came in and done a fantastic job, I thought. And
yeah, definitely,
he dealt with everything that was thrown his way, if you like. Okay, Vicky, good evening.
Good evening.
All right, we've got midfield then. Eccles out, Jamie Allen in. What were your views on that?
I suppose it's a bit of a surprise, but then equally, he has been brought in and out into Lampard, hasn't he? He just like to just give some of these players a chance periodically. I mean, there's been a bit of movement around. And I was thinking about it, and I think that really probably when you're having Wright, Allen is those two work better together. I thought that was probably, I don't know if that played any part in it from Lampard's perspective, but for me, I was thinking, I think I probably would play Allen if I was playing Wright, just because of the different things that they offer. Because Wright's a different type of front man, isn't he? And I think that you need somebody behind doing all the sort of groundwork that Allen does. So it's a different game when they're playing. And so for me, that probably made sense, and it worked out well as it turned out.
Yeah, Jamie Allen for me was outstanding yesterday. I thought he was everywhere. He won those little awkward, nasty little 50-50 balls. He did seem to be everywhere on the pitch, didn't he? Like linking up, driving forward. Yeah, he's a bundle of energy yesterday, I thought. And I thought, and that's what we missed on Tuesday night, to be fair. We didn't have anybody.
I think as well, it was Grimes' best performance by a mile for me as well. So like when he came on against Leeds, you thought, this is a player we've signed here. And it just seems to have taken a little while to get really sort of settled. And yesterday, I thought was Grimes' best performance. And I think from that, it just keeps the midfield battles won there by the way he controls the game. And then you got Allen and Torp, who both had. I thought Torp had a much better game than Tuesday, and Allen was immense. And I just think that between the three of them. Whereas I was disappointed with Grimes on Tuesday, but I think a lot of that, how well we play, is going to be how well he plays. And I thought it was his best game for us yesterday. So I think that I agree.
I thought we struggled to get a man of the match on Tuesday night. But then yesterday, I think there was a lot of contenders for man of the match, weren't there? So what a difference a few days make. He was fantastic. Good evening, Claudio. How are we? All right?
I'm very well.
Let's talk about up front then, because there was a surprise. I did not expect Haji to start after his performance on Tuesday. I thought he was way off it Tuesday night, as we were all there, so we all seen it. But he did start, and Ellis Sims relegated to the bench. What was your thoughts?
Let's be honest about this. I'm surprised any of them started. Yes, because Sims and Haji Wright were terrible on Tuesday. They didn't offer anything, and Haji Wright's touch was absolutely awful. And we've got all these wise people now saying, well, that's why he got 90 minutes because of what he did yesterday. What a load of nonsense. You can't predict what's going to happen in a game, can you? Basically. No. He was absolute dog poo, wasn't he, on Tuesday night? It was terrible. When you saw it
he played on the pitch.
That was awful. Absolutely. And actually, I'm going to pick you up on something, Ken. Yeah. What did you say at the start about a 2 defeats in 11 or something? Yeah. How about 10 wins in 12? That sounds better, doesn't it?
It sounds better, yeah.
I tell you what, 30 points out of 36 is extraordinary at this stage of the season. I just can't believe that. But anyway, I just thought I'd say that. I think the changes were right. Bidders couldn't play after Tuesday night. Terrible. Eccles... If you remember, there's one part of that game on Tuesday where the ball came across the box and Eccles just stood there and didn't move, did he? Do you remember that?
No.
And he kind of went through his legs. He didn't. And so I wasn't surprised. I was surprised that Alan came in though, because I didn't know who was going to bring in. But then we found out Sheaf was injured for God knows how long, so we knew he weren't going to be playing. But up front, I've said it long enough. Haji Wright is a centre forward. He is not a left.
That's what, in my mind, that's what we bought him for, to play there.
Well, exactly. I mean, okay, he did a good job on the left and he cut inside and scored goals. But you could see how mobile he was when he's got the whole of the pitch to play in. That's got to be far better. And of course, he got the fans going, well, yeah, that's the difference between him and Sims. And in defence of Vicky here, they weren't saying it last season towards the back end of the season, were they? He has been part. These players, although they played really bad on Tuesday, Bidwell, Eccles and Sims have been part of a team that have been involved in these 10 wins out of 12. It's not like that was the only game they played on Tuesday. They just had a shocker. Let's see what happens at Sheffield away when Haji Wright is not in front of his home crowd. Let's see if he plays up front and plays like that. This is one game where he was outstanding, absolutely outstanding. But, I think the change probably had to be made. I'm glad he played up front because that's his natural position. Now, maybe you got to kick up the backside because Sims have been playing. He's come back in the team. He's got to fight for it. They're fighting for their position, aren't they? It was a brilliant performance.
Level now, hasn't he? He's set a level. The bar's quite high now and he needs to keep to that.
Exactly. You can't just sit on those 3 goals now because we need it again. We need it for 8 matches now. So, but it was, I was kind of surprised. I didn't expect him to start down the middle because of the way he played on Tuesday night. No,
it certainly raised a few eyebrows. Certainly after his performance, and those that were there Tuesday would know, and I've obviously watched it on telly as well. How awful the whole team was, really. Not just Haji, but the whole team were terrible, and it was a complete turnaround yesterday. Chris Baker, it was very much a turnaround, and let's go through the first half then. Overall performance and the goals from Haji, 2 goals from Haji, and a fantastic first half performance, wasn't it?
I just was amazed. After Tuesday, the last thing I expected to see yesterday was the performance we got. We completely and utterly schooled Sunderland. A team that's not been beaten by more than 1 goal all season as well. So I think that kind of needs to be mentioned as well. So, they've been a really good team in this division this year. So just the performance away, and Haji Wright, the way he was running across that line, running his lines, I've not seen him play like that. It's almost like he was told you didn't put the effort that was needed on Tuesday night, so you've got to do it today. And he obliged. He did very well. And that first goal was probably my best out of the three that I liked. I thought that was the better goal.
Well, that's what we've been missing. We don't shoot enough, do we? And he took the gamble. He had a shot from outside the box, and it went in. He caught them by surprise. And the big saying is, you don't shoot, you don't score, do you? And Haji tends to do that, and it was a good finish.
But I also think Jamie Allen needs a special mention because he was immense yesterday. He was everywhere, as you said earlier, picking up every second ball. And our midfield, and even back when this good run started, is a lot better with Jamie Allen in it. And I would be having Jamie Allen in over a Josh Eccles any day of the week, and probably even a Ben Sheaf at this point, as such as the influence Ben Sheaf's had now at midfield over this season. Like, no one else can do what Jamie Allen does in that midfield, and that's his engine. That's just completely running after everything and going after thingy. But one of three could have got man of the match yesterday for me. I know Wright got it, but Grimes and Allen would have been a fair shout as well.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, obviously it all went to Haji because he could have his 3 goals, and quite right. But there's certainly a lot of contenders. Jamie Allen for me was very, very close. If it wasn't for Haji getting the hat trick, I think for me, Jamie Allen would have been man of the match for me because he was fantastic. He run the show there in midfield, and he just didn't stop running the whole game. He was fantastic. And what was your view of the penalty then? Definite penalty? I thought, he's left his leg in there, and he played it well, Haji, hasn't he? He knew what he was doing.
Yeah, it was 100% a penalty. There was contact. It was enough to send Haji over. It wasn't a dive. It wasn't theatrical either. It was 100% a penalty. There could be no argument with that at all whatsoever.
Yeah, I was quite confident to score with his unique sort of shuffle to one side before he takes a pen, didn't he? And he put it down the middle. Good penalty. Yeah.
I did like the way Torp took the ball at the start, because then Edlin Torp, and then he just turned around and handed it off to Wright as the keeper.
There's only one man who was going to take that pen once Haji's got one. Yeah. I thought he's just playing a few mind games there. By taking the ball, they tend to do that now, don't they? Just to put the keeper off. And fair play to him. He put it away, and it was great. In that first half, I don't think they really threatened us, did they, at all, to be honest?
No, they didn't get anywhere near us.
No, I was surprised, how poor they were, because it's probably how good we were as well, to be fair, taking this away from us. But we didn't allow them. We didn't allow them any space. All them niggly second balls, we were winning. We were winning everything in midfield, and they were struggling to get anything going. So
it was because of our midfield. It didn't allow them to do anything. Allow them to get their game at any point. I'd like to focus less on how bad Sunderland were. They were just bad because we were so good, because we neutralised everything about them. So fantastic first half. Vicky, you probably agree with most of that, don't you? Fantastic first half performance. What were your views on the goals then in the first half and Haji's performance?
Yeah, I think probably like all of us, when you saw the team sheet and you're thinking, I've just seen them on Tuesday night, look well off the pace. That's not the performance you expected sort of 5 days later, is it? This was amazing. But again, that's football, isn't it? I mean, that's things like that happen all the time. Sometimes why you have to be a bit more pragmatic about results when they're high or low, because things change all the time, don't they? And so it's easy sometimes to get a bit too low when things go wrong, and a bit too high when things go well, when it's sort of more level, really. But I thought it was great. I thought the first goal was well taken. Clear penalty, that was right in front of me. And you can see,
wasn't it?
You can see the Sunderland player. He knew straight away. You could just sort of see his body language was like, I've been caught there. So he knew straight away, and that's why it was very tough by way of appeals. I think some of them were trying to say it was outside of the box, but it was well in. So
I'd seen it straight away, definitely inside, and I'm sure you did as well. And I didn't really have to look at it again, but I did. It was definitely inside the box.
Well, I think sometimes you're not sure, are you? But that sometimes I think I need to watch that again when I get home. But that I was certain there and then. Nothing's changed. So I changed my mind on that. And I will take a penalty.
Well taken, yeah, straight down the middle, weren't it? No messing about. He all seems, he's got that urge of like confidence, hasn't he, when he takes a pen, Haji? Yeah, I know he missed one at Southampton last season when he slipped though, didn't he? Just as he was about to take it, if I remember. So he did miss that one, but I think that's the only one he's missed for us, to be honest. So.
Well, the advantage we had this time was that we had 2 penalty takers on the pitch, so there was always someone that was confident to take them. It just makes a difference. I mean, some players just are penalty takers and some aren't they? And so, unfortunately, against Oxford, we didn't have one on the pitch, and yesterday we were doing so. You're all sort of thinking, well, that's better. I feel more confident about this now because there's somebody that I feel that can do a good job of this. So. Yeah,
we don't tend to get many pens, unfortunately, but when we do get them, we've had these on the pitch. I'm quite confident, but if he's not, then talk the good penalty taker. He's got, to be honest, in penalty shootout, Eccles was very good, wasn't he? When he's a few that's not missed. You're looking back, but at the end of the day, Haji is a penalty taker, and for me, he looks quite confident when he does take one, and it was well deserved. Okay, Claudia, what was your thoughts then up in the hierarchy yesterday, watching from afar? What was your thoughts on that first half? Because it was fantastic, wasn't it?
I thought it was all right. You know what? When we watch our lot, you can almost tell in the first 5 or 10 minutes how we're going to go. And when we start fast, we've done this for years now. You just think, oh, we're on it. The way we've started, we're on it. Second ball. How many times do we say we're not winning the second ball? Every time the ball dropped, we won it. We got back on it. I mean, Grimes was putting in tackles, winning it back. Torp, I thought was fantastic in the first half as well. The through ball he played for Haji Wright, lovely ball, wasn't it? For the on the run, and Jamie Allen. What they dipped him in something, didn't they? Because that was an extraordinary performance that first half. He played like a captain. He reminded me of Josh Eccles when they gave him the captain's armband. That first game he had it, and he could like run through a brick wall. But Jamie Allen was excellent, and he was everywhere. He just did not stop. And I'll tell you what I've noticed about Jamie. The last few times he's been on the pitch and we've scored, have you seen him celebrate the way? Unbelievable. I mean, the goal that Bobby Thomas scored, he ran towards Singer's corner. Everybody else ran the other way. It was cheering. Haji scored. He was fist pump in the air. He was, you can tell he loves the club. He loves playing. Yeah. At the time, we've got 8 games to go, is ideal for what we need. We need that energy because we haven't got too many players who are like that. Who can bomb around the pitch. He's like, in the old days, he's like a Dean Emerson, that kind of thing. Yeah. He could run around the pitch, put the tackles in, put the foot in, and to actually keep the ball moving as well, because he's a quite positive player. And I just thought that first half, I mean, you go around the team, I don't think anybody put a foot wrong. It was ridiculous. It was like every time we got on the ball, we're going forward again. And I'm looking at Sunderland, I'm thinking, well, I've said this before on the show, I can't understand how they're 4th. But they had such a great start at the start of the season, and they've been up there ever since. And the only reason I saw a post on Facebook, I can't believe, are they above us? Well, because we were crap before November, basically. If we'd been mediocre the first half of the season, we'd probably be in the top 4, to be honest, the way we're playing now. But that first half was spot on. It was excellent. And the penalty, well, he won it as well, didn't it? And it was a foul. So clever, turned inside his man. The guy's left his leg there. Haji Wright's going over. He just sold him beautifully. And as soon as he did it,
didn't he?
Yeah, I kind of went, oh, that's a penalty. It wasn't like I thought, that's a penalty. And of course, he gave it straight away. I thought, fantastic. And then you just think, please score, And
it wasn't too bad, the referee yesterday, to be fair. Dean Whitestone, he had refed us a few times. He refed us against Leeds, was his last game he refed us. Leeds at home when we lost, but
I never noticed them when we win. They always do a good job when we win.
Talk about the ref. If you don't talk about the ref, you know he's had a good game, don't you?
Yeah.
When it's controversial.
That first half was a 2-0 thrashing, wasn't it, really?
Yes, yeah. they didn't lay a glove on us, did they, really, to be honest, in that first half? And I was surprised. I thought, well, look, we're going in. We need to do that same second half. And we'll talk about the second half in a minute or two.
In fairness, Ken, they did exactly what a lot of the Sunderland podcasts have been saying, where they felt the manager's been swapping the team around, resting players. They're in the playoffs, aren't they? Unless they have a massive collapse, they're still going to be in the playoffs. So
they've got that leeway, haven't they?
Yeah. They have been messing around formations, and that Isidore wasn't playing. He was on the bench. It seems like a weird thing to do. You'd think you'd want to get a couple of more wins just to secure your place and then prat about. But he's been doing it 4 or 5 games now, and they're lucky they've got the gap, because had we won against Derby, I'll be thinking, come on, boys, we can catch this lot up the way they're playing, because they are struggling. They're struggling at home. Oh, please, let's get in the playoffs and play them on 2 legs, because it's going to be fantastic.
That would be nice.
They do not. I mean, they've had a dreadful weekend, haven't they, with Newcastle winning the Carabao Cup? They don't want to play us. We know that.
Yeah.
Shall I read the comments?
Yeah. Cool. Loads of comments, loads of people, loads of happy people making comments. Let's hear what they have to say then, Claudia.
Right, Rich T. We met Rich T outside the ground. He introduced himself as Rich T, and I said, "Yes, my favourite biscuits." Absolutely brilliant yesterday. In every way, that's the performance we've been waiting for. Well done, boy. Yes. Dark Farts. Good evening, Wright. Being back is like having a new signing. Hope he performs like this in the remaining games. He's undroppable now, surely. Best crowd since Leicester last year. Correct. We're only a few short of beating Leeds this season, actually. A handful of people. Colin Branfield, how many of you said Wright looked out of sorts? Now look at that hat trick. Well, he was out of sorts on Tuesday. And what? He probably looks out of sorts when he plays Sheffield United. With him, it's consistency. Always has, even when he scored all those goals last season. Paul Cuttyford, two-tone just proves my theory and 20,000 others. We play well against top teams because we are given space and lower teams close us down quickly and we can't play. Wonder what Sims is thinking. I saw Sims on the way out yesterday, actually, with his little baby and girlfriend or wife. He's a big lad. I tell you, close up, he's a big lad. Sims, not the baby, obviously. Just born, he's already 4 foot. Huge. Gary 87, great atmosphere yesterday. Great to see Wright back at his best after Tuesday. I mean, what is good that, after Tuesday night, he could put in a performance. So it is there. We know it's there. Paul Stratton, sorry, Vicky, but Ellis has just lost his starting place. What a win, what a performance. And, we'll see what happens when he picks a team for Sheffield. I wouldn't rule anything out. Frank Lampard. Jamie Allen says, Sky Blue Warrior, what a game. It reminded me of League One days. Best team performance since Wolves. They were all superb, and Newcastle had just rubbed salt into their wounds to add insult to injury. Of course, it was a year ago today, wasn't it, Vicky? Wolves, that game?
That was it, a year ago today.
Oh, what a game that was. Yeah.
I've been watching that third goal back again. I love when Ali McCoy goes, oh no, that's like my favourite.
Brilliant commentary as well there as well, wasn't it? You better believe they're going to Wembley.
It's interesting because Jack's not on the show tonight. We put in our chat, didn't he, about 5 favourite games. And I said, well, I think one of them, obviously, is the Wolves one. I was stood next to him. And the worst one is Derby stood next to him. Yeah, I know. Exactly that, yeah. Assassin's United, Lampard's reaction at the end was priceless. He absolutely brought into the club and the fans love him. Go on, Super Frank. I don't think any manager coming in couldn't get the club when you see the fan base the way it is at the minute. And I think a big part of that is the away fan base as well. Because I was watching a bit of the Blackburn-Stoke game, and I mean, Mark Robbins was saying, the support's been great. They took half as many as what we took down to Millwall. We had top and bottom there, didn't we, at Millwall?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I'm thinking it makes a massive difference. Boo Boo Bidwell, he's changed his name. Even all, been waiting for a performance like that. Actually, get excited and believe in the team fully. Even De Silva looked like he plays for Brazil, not Wales. It helps when you got EMC in front of you, though. Wayne Littlewood, 70% of the earth is covered in water. The other 30% is by Jamie Allen. I think you're saying Sunderland tears.
All right, seen that meme on Facebook then. Wayne.
Wayne, use your own gags if you can come on here. Can't have plagiarism on this channel. Even though says Finn, 100% best performance from start to finish. Every position, keep the same deck for me. Brilliant game, says Kimberly Owen. Good evening, Kimberly. I saw her at Derby. She didn't see me. She was across to the side at the side.
Good evening, Kimberly. Yes.
Even all, great team effort. Jamie Allen has staked a place in the team. PUSB, that's from Hector. Lee Beckett, can we find out if Jamie Allen had to play for Job's taxi back once he got him out of his pocket? Tell you what, didn't notice him, did you? Joe Bellingham. They're on about him going for 15 million. Yeah. Ridiculous.
Wasn't in the game. Yeah.
Be better off playing his mother there. West Hadley, would the result performance have been the same if Sims had started? No, you can't say. This is what I mean. You don't know. You just don't know. I think we need to just embrace the fact we were brilliant yesterday. We got a great win, and not pick out players who aren't playing. It's just a daft thing to do. I think, aren't they all part of this squad? They've all been involved in games where they've won and scored vital goals. You know, what about the goal?
It's a squad. We'll need. Yeah, it's a squad, and we'll need them all.
Yeah, who scored the last-minute winner at Sheffield Wednesday? Ellis Sims. There you go. You know, it's simple as that, isn't it? So if he scores only 8 goals this season, if all 8 were really important, that's all you need, basically.
I just don't understand. Competition for places is what we all want, strength and depth.
That's right. That's why there's only 4 of us on here, and Miles and Jack have been dropped.
What's weird as well is, like, I mean, people commenting now, like, it's after the game, but there was people at the game shouting, "Oh, Sim, score." You're just thinking, we're winning, we're celebrating a goal, and your first thought is to like say Sims. It's just a really weird way to follow and support your football club. And Sims, you can see he was delighted. He was joining in. He was like, had a big beam and smile. That, like, so he was happy for Wright, but we've got fans that want to say him and just find that really sad.
Well, I looked at Sunderland's midfield. You got Neil, Mundell, Roberts and Bellingham, and I thought, oh, blimey, we only got 3 in there. We're going to struggle today. But Alan was just doing the job of 2 or 3 players, wasn't he? The ground he was covering. I didn't expect that from Jamie Allen yesterday at all. You know, everyone's just going, my God, what's happening to Jamie Allen today? So it's a surprise to everybody, I think. You know.
Yeah. And Frank Lampard picked him up as well, because he's mentioned him a few times, hasn't he, when he'd been interviewed, I've heard. The work rate of Jamie Allen. He does a lot of that nasty sort of work you don't realise sometimes, when you're winning a lot of little 50-50s in the middle of the park. And a lot of fans don't see that, but his work rate, tremendous.
Sorry. It's like people saying, oh, where's Radoni going to fit in the team now? Guys, this is one game. You know, Radoni gets in that team as far as I'm concerned, on what he's done already this season. You know. Anyway, right, calm down. Lee Dan, even though incredible performance on Saturday, we're better than them in every department. Our fight impressed me more than anything. The players really wanted it, so pleased. What a performance, says Wayne. Can we get this framed? I want a T-shirt with Wayne saying, what a performance. It was epic. Even the atmosphere was brilliant. Can you remind me who put the ball in the back of Sunderland's net? Yes.
I enjoyed that song. It's a new one. It's very good. I can't say all the words, obviously.
Yes. Any subscription news updates? It's the same as last week. Yes. If you want to like and subscribe, please do. And any donations will be taken with great generosity and thanks. I'm going to leave it at that. I always used to be a salesman. I'm not. So I did it for 3 months. I drank more than I sold, actually. It was it was for a wine company. Ben Green, even all, what a performance yesterday. First time this season, I can't fault anything. Atmosphere was fantastic. Love to see it. Got to give Frank credit. I think there was a few raised eyebrows when the team selection, but it got it bang on. Trevor Merriman, man of the match. Jamie Allen or Grimes. Mostly love music. There were doubters for a while, but it's fair to say Haji has proven to be worth the $7 million we pay for him. Frank Hunter, Coventry 3, Sunday jobs on the house 0. Too much Guinness celebrating after the game made Sunday mostly horizontal. Well worth it though, and it's St. Patrick's, isn't it as well? Ralph Wiggins, wonderful evening to all Sky Blues. What a fantastic match. There's only one Jamie Allen. not a JDS fan, but he and Alan played a blinder. Grimes bossed the back and middle. But did you see the issue we've talked about happened during the game where they did put the ball through behind our defence, and Kitchen and Thomas didn't go out, did they? Like we said, they need to push out. And a couple of times they cut in at 2-0 and had a shot. And you could see them looking at each other going, well, whose job's that then? I'm thinking it's yours. Liam, get over there and put the tackle in. Don't wait for Jade Silver to get back. He's on the halfway line. He was down the wing a minute ago. But anyway, we got away with it, didn't we? Right. From when Haji first got injured, he was our top scorer on 7. Now he's on 10. Does that sum up the lack of quality up front? It is a good point. That's obviously we haven't. Bissett, for all he's running around, that's all he does, doesn't he, guys? He's not really. He's nowhere near the finished article. We know that.
No,
I'll just say as well about going back to that. I am going to go back to Ellis Sims again as well. When he was scoring his goals, we were playing a completely different formation. Whenever he struggled it's playing the formation that we've been currently playing, like the 4-3-3. So that tells me that Sims struggles when he's leading the line on his own, but when he's got a partner with him, he's more than capable of putting the ball in the back of the net. So I just think, people just need to pay attention rather than just automatically jumping on someone's back.
Because he played up front with Stewart, didn't he? With Sunderland, he played up front with Stewart all the time, and he looked really good, and that's why we tried to get hold of him.
Yeah.
I think you're right, Chris. It's horses for courses, or cart horses in some people's case. Anyway, Vicky.
I was going to say that, all players are different, aren't they? And we seem to have this weird thing. It's the same with like Eccles, like people who say to him, but he is contributed to this season and the points we've got and the run we've been on, but he offers something different to different players. So it's a thing where you're like, oh, well, they don't do that, so they're not as good. But they do that instead. So there's different things, isn't there? I don't know this need to compare players and then always use it as a tool to attack the players that aren't the favourites. It's just But also, if I can just quickly say, coming out of the ground yesterday, because I'll forget otherwise, coming out of the ground yesterday, I bumped into a viewer and I said I'd give him a shout out if I can get his name right, which was Dino Christoph Ronaldo, is what he goes by on his little tag if we see him.
Oh, does he?
So he said he watches, and I said I agree to give a
very
shout
good
out
to you then, Steve.
The new policy, if you want to shout out, is £100. It's been implemented by Miles.
He gave me some compliments, so that I was a sucker after that.
That's it. Yeah, I'm the same. I must admit, when Sims was walking out the foyer bit, the posh bit, nobody was talking to him. There was 3 people talking to me. I thought it was quite fun. Admittedly, they were my mates.
Sims ran over to Claudio asking for a photo.
Yeah. He looked so happy. He looked really happy. He was engaging with the fans. He was stopping for. He's got his little baby, and he's got his girlfriend, wife there. And he was stopping. He was, he didn't like push anybody away. He was happy. He stopped and talked to everybody who was talking to him. So I thought it was fantastic, really. This is a guy who played 3 minutes. So he looked really, really happy. It's what you want to see, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Dave Sports Photos. That was the statement of intent, performance that we needed. Forget the tired cliche that good sides win when playing badly. Good sides play well and make a statement. We did that yesterday. It's such a great feeling. It's such a great feeling.
Especially going into the international break as well, because it's important to get a win, isn't it? Because you've got a big break to, look forward to, and you've got the points in the bag, and it makes life so much easier.
It shouldn't affect your mood for the weekend, though, should it? It's ridiculous, isn't it? How if you'd have lost that, how miserable I'd be the weekend. We did a
Wednesday at work. I was terrible last week after we lost at Derby. It was awful. I kept thinking about it. How can we play so bad?
Yeah, well, my production levels went right down on Wednesday.
Oh,
yeah.
You only had 4 breaks instead of 3, or what?
I unfortunately lost my job on Tuesday, then went to Derby and watched that awful show. Honestly, I was more annoyed about the Derby performance than losing my job on the Wednesday.
So let's put it out there. Can anybody give Chris a job?
Oh yeah, please.
Yeah, he's available. He's on the market.
Yeah.
Or on the flip side, I'll do as many shoutouts as you like for 100 quid, as Claudio said.
Hi to all. Hi to all. So many people said Wright was poor in midweek. I think the difference was our pitch helped him control the ball. Wayne, Brewerton, Alan, Grimes, Wright, men of the match. I struggled. I said at the end, I says, apart from the keeper, I said for laugh, give it to the keeper. Because they do man of the match. How many times they do man of the match? You think they just want to meet Milan, don't they? Or they just want to meet whoever it is their favourite player is. Yeah. Nowhere they're man of the match. I thought, just give it to Dovin for a laugh. Jamie Allen showed what the midfield needed. This is from Wayne Littlewood. He's going to get a Jamie Allen t-shirt at this rate. A bit of thrust. When you play Grimes, Eccles or Sheaf, Grimes, you have two defensive players and midfield stutters. Thorpe was also fantastic. I do agree with the Sheaf and Grimes. I'm not sure it's a good mix, because Grimes likes to play a certain way, and I think you need to get out of his space, basically. It's like I would say it's definitely an upgrade on what Liam Kelly used to do in League Two, as far as I'm concerned. Liam Kelly never gave the ball away, did he?
You're right. He just lacked a little bit of speed, didn't he? And he was getting on a little bit, but that was his only fault, really.
Yeah, Michael Doyle did all the hard tackles, and he was the one, getting the moves going again. What a result, Carl Andy says, from a true team performance. Nobody had a bad game. They all had each other's backs. I do love it when they do that, though.
Bring this up. Lee Beckett's just put up. There you are. Look, we've got an off Australian. What do you do, Chris? We've got an
podcast. I work in administration, like mortgages and that. So that's
Chris, can I just correct you there? You used to work in.
Oh, all right, Clara. A bit too soon. I'm going. I'm storming off.
So, if you want to, go on. Tell them what you do, Chris, quickly.
Administration type work, like in mortgages, mortgage underwriting, that type of thing.
All right, so if you need somebody, let him know. But he will clean pots and pans, he says. That's absolute crap, Chris. I really feel sorry for you, mate.
Yeah, I know.
Come on, you.
I'm sure you'll find something soon, sooner rather than later.
How good, Assassin's United says, how good was Alan as well? Another player whose game's improved under Lamps. Give him a 2-year deal, Doug. The thing is, if he gets the best out of these players, then we're saving money. We don't need to go elsewhere because we don't know where we're going to end up for next season, do we yet? No. At the minute, the trajectory looks pretty good. It looks like we could be in the playoffs, but we've got 2 tricky games coming up. I know we're going to talk about later, but it's going to save you money if you keep some of these players. So you got to go out and look for them. And then they know we've got, we might be prepared to play a bit more than we would normally pay. Tony Goodman, just don't see what you all see in Bidwell. De Silva is a much better, but I'm sure Binks would be a better choice. See, that's the other thing. I actually thought Binks was going to be picked for this weekend.
A lot of people, I feel sorry for Binks. He hasn't done a lot wrong, has he? And he just finds himself out of the team. But he's an excellent footballer, Binks, and I'm sure he could do a job. We may need him. There might be an injury coming up. Anybody could get injured at any time. So, we may need him in this running. So it's nice to have a player of that quality available if need be.
Gusto Audio, were Sunderland really that poor, or did our performance make them look it? I just think we just made them look bad. Lee Dan, I can't recall a game where the team played as well for 90 minutes. Haji Wright gives us pace and ability to get in behind. Even when we lost possession, we fought for it back, which was fantastic. I think it's our most complete performance for a long time. Start to finish, and the fact we didn't concede as well. So it is definitely one of the best performances I've seen for a long, long time up there. Even the playoff season, to be honest. Against a team who are fourth in the table, that's excellent. Paul Stratton, Alan made the difference. He allowed Grimes to basically have freedom of the pitch. Sheffield away is a big game, says Wayne. The team needs to take that form and not just up for it at the CBS. It'd be frustrating to see us revert back to a derby performance. Lee Beckett, Haji, 7 goals off golden boot spot. It's ridiculous, isn't it? But he is the best finisher in the club. On those, like the Oxford game to start the season, I think we all said, didn't we? He was the player you wanted to see going through on his own because you feel like he will put it away. You know, and what? He is. That's what he's good at. I've never understood the Wright is better than Sims argument, says Ryan Matthew. They're two different types of players. Haji is more of a versatile forward, whereas Sims is more of a target man. He holds the ball up. That's a good point, Ryan. Brian Tully in Coventry. We've been messaging each other today. He goes, what do you predict today? Liverpool, Newcastle. Says, it'll be all over by half time for Liverpool. They'll win it easily. So I messaged him back at the final whistle. I says, I told you it would be all over by half time. Yeah. I don't know how they're top of the Premier League watching that. Brian Tully in Coventry, great win. My form prediction looks all right now on Thursday night as we won by a 3-goal margin. Aha. Doubly back weekend for the Mackhams. Yeah, doubly bad weekend it is, wasn't it? That was, they've had a terrible time. Hector, 4 points from the next 2 games would be great, but in a decent position. West Brom game will be massive. Yeah, see, the West Brom game, we could be in a position where if we win that, we're there. It could be one of those, I think.
I'd love to smash them. We owe them one big time, West Brom.
That's my 40th on the West Brom game, so I'll be hoping for a big birthday present from the team that day.
Yeah. 7. I had to get tickets in the home end Tuesday. It was horrible being in the middle of that when the 2 goals went in and just standing there in silence. Yeah.
Must have been, yeah.
I was watching the game on telly at the weekend, the highlights, and that happened. Some team scored, the crowd's going mad, and there's one person not celebrating. I'm thinking, he don't support that team, does he? It was so obvious. He wasn't doing anything. I thought, he definitely supports the team they've just scored against, and he's in the wrong end. We went from Boston United to Brazil in 5 days, said Finn. Yeah, well, mostly love of music. I enjoyed listening to some Sunderland podcasts after the match. The general feeling is that they are falling backwards into the playoffs with 0 chance of winning them. They've actually said, there's one that said, they're dreading it because they can't beat us and they can't beat West Brom either if West Brom are in it. Yeah. I'm thinking we need to play. We know we won't play West Brom. So Sunderland looks like a great it's a great option for us. Dawn says, off the subject a bit, but not keen on We Live and Die lyrics on the scoreboard. I get like it was karaoke. If people can't learn it on their own, then don't bother. Honestly, gosh, it's a bit tough, your mate. I actually thought...
I liked it, so I'm going to have to disagree with it there.
I did. There's a lot of fans out there that don't know the words, and especially the youngsters, I suppose, they like singing it. It was nice to see the words on the scoreboard, I thought.
I just think... There's a lot more people singing the words. It definitely was louder from the other end. We know where the box is, from that end. You could hear people singing it, whereas they just mumble it, don't they?
Yeah, so, they know the chorus, a lot of them. Yeah.
I know they weren't keen on it because they didn't want it to be like karaoke, but, and the away fans can't really see it because it's behind them, isn't it? So, years ago, they used to put the Play Up Sky Blues in the programme, the lyrics. In the 60s, because they used to change it for whoever they're playing against. But, right, Day Sports Photos. Haji's a mystery, but he can be dog one game and it will be to the next. Just because he's standing on a different part of the pitch, surely. Chris must be right. He's got to kick up the backside. I think they all did, because they did the same after Portsmouth, didn't they? Didn't they?
Yeah, Lampard weren't happy, was he, on Tuesday? No.
Lampard's a winner. Whatever people think of him, he's a winner. He's proved that all his whole career. You're not a winner by not playing well and not trying and not fighting and not battling. Sometimes you need more than skill to just to win games.
Well, that's what he said, Lampard, as well, didn't he? Because I think he did have a great degree of skill, but he did say that he pushed himself to be the best he could be. So actually, even better than his skill, allowed, and that's what. So I think that's what he'll be demanding of the players, won't it? No matter what your ceiling is, you've got to push yourself through that all the time if you want to win anything, and that's a good mentality, isn't it? Really.
Oh, definitely. And I like him. I've always liked him. It's funny. It's just as a player. Hopefully that Derby loss is just the inevitable off day. The same thing happened when we lost 4-0 against Stoke during the run to Wembley. Yeah, how did we lose that game against Stoke 4-0? It was Legends Day, wasn't it?
Yeah, it always happens though, doesn't it? Like way back when we got to the League Two playoffs, we lost to Yeovil Town. Was it 6-2?
Yeah,
We've got a terrible record on Legends Day as well, haven't we? Legends Day is
Well, the Lincoln game at home where they battered us as well. 4-2 was it? They scored after about 15 seconds, didn't they? It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
West Brom were also playing badly, says Assassins Unite. Lee Beckett, 100% pen, yard in the box. They had one shot on target all game. That's why I think Davies should have got man of the match. Even though Torp's 2 pinpoint passes that split the defence for 2 of Haji's goals, superb. Torp was great in that number 10 role. He did look the part. Or as Frank said the other week, a 8-8 role or a 6-6 role, he called it, or something. I think they just make it up now, don't they? The whole team was brilliant. I think people are starting to see how poor Eccles is. A bit harsh. Allen and Torp, poor class. Jamie Allen, contract extension coming soon, deserves it, says Mostly Lover Music. Rich T, Haji, equally at home using both feet, yes. Graham Cockrell, we were winning most of the second ball in midfield yesterday. And Lee Dan says the midfield was more balanced. Sunderland players did some nasty tackling that the ref let go because they were 2 down. We made them look average. They tried 100%, but we were too good per man. Simple. And Steve Price, all the way from Wales, and we get back to the next bit. Fantastic performance and result. Thought Wright was off it Tuesday. Not just understandably rusty, but lacked desire and touch poor. But Defo back on it yesterday. Absolutely brilliant. So, what are we talking about next, Ken?
Okay, we'll talk about the second half, believe it or not. We'll just quickly talk about the second half performance and the goal that had his hat-trick, obviously. We don't score many hat-tricks from our players, but when we do, we certainly celebrate. And Chris, the second half, it was really important. I said to the guy next to me, the next goal, because we did it against Stoke when we were 2-0 up, and they come out and score 2-1, and you'll get a bit nervy, and before we know it, it's 2-2. So it was important that we scored that next goal, and we certainly did, didn't we?
Yeah, definitely. Especially with what had happened the week before against Stoke. That's always in the back of your mind when you've got another 2-0 lead. But again, like the first half, they never laid a glove on us. They never got anywhere near looking like they were going to threaten to score. We just controlled the game. Game management on Saturday was second to none. It was great to see, actually. And obviously, Wright's for goal, the pass from Torp. I mean, he's nearly fell over on the way, and he's got up and passed it as he's got up. And it's just the defence half, and the keeper it was a class finish. It was a touch of class.
Yeah, it was great work from Torp as well, wasn't it? Who held off that midfield and played a lovely ball through the Haji. And I say that's the sort of finish we're missing, aren't we? Or we have been missing. You know, finishing really, and
he just feels more mobile than Sims across that line, and I think that's why Sims works better in a 2 because he struggles to get across the line completely. But also Haji Wright likes to run in behind a bit more, which makes those passes more possible, whereas Sims likes to have his back and bring the ball down. So they are different players, but Haji Wright's performance is great. And if we get this from him the rest of the season, I want him to re-release Do the Right Thing at the end of the season.
Well, let's hope so. You know, fingers crossed. You never know, but no, it was fantastic. The fact that we kept a clean sheet as well was important, weren't it? Because we haven't been keeping many clean sheets lately. We all tend to they will let teams score, and they didn't really. I didn't think at any stage they were in danger of conceding a goal yesterday. You know, I really thought everybody was on the game. You know, they had a couple of half chances. They blazed over the bar. Maybe they could have done better with a couple of chances. But overall, I thought, you know, they didn't really cause as many issues, to be honest, did they? You know,
No.
I thought it was an all-round brilliant performance. Vicky, I suppose I can't really add to that. You'd probably agree with most of what I just said. It was important to get that next goal, wasn't it? And Haji's finish was great, wasn't it? Second half.
Although I predicted 2-0, and I was torn between thinking if it's stayed at 2-0, I got that right, or like, do we go for some more goals? I mean, it is important, isn't it? Because as soon as you get to 2-1, it just changes the whole dynamic. And I guess that was the thing, because Sunderland were so poor in the first half. You expected a bit of a reaction in the second half. So you're sort of thinking, what we're going to come out to, hopefully we're... And also, obviously, we've had a bit of a problem with 90-minute performances. So you're thinking, like, what are they going to come out like? What are we going to come out like? And we carried on, and they did very little at all. I mean, I was surprised. It was like Claudio said earlier about Bellingham. It was only about in the 85th minute. I suddenly remembered that he was even on the pitch, and someone that, like, obviously so highly rated and was just so quiet. That you sort of barely remember that he's even on the pitch. And so I just think, it just was a really, really top performance. I mean, easily for me, our best performance of the season. Just across the board, so many players playing. So, I mean, we haven't even yet spoken about Sakamoto, who I thought was immense again on Saturday. And him and Milan, I thought played really well together. And it was quite nice when someone went in on Sakamoto to see Milan going in and sticking up for him, and that they're really building. I mean, we already knew that they've got like a sort of close bond, and they're just building on that even more now, aren't they? And so that's just really good to say.
Yeah, he was a menace, wasn't he? Sakamoto, he was causing them all sorts of problems. The same as Mason Clark, on the other side. He caused them all sorts of problems, and I just thought it was a complete team performance, second half, and not keeping a clean sheet was fantastic. Bit more luck, we probably could have had a couple more goals, but I think we're all happy with 3-0, weren't we? And we're all happy with a clean sheet. And it was nice to see Patterson come on for the last sort of good 10-15 minutes, wasn't he? Come on for, so it wasn't too bad. And he did all right when he come on. He showed a nice few touches. So I think that, and obviously there is a bit of a gap now between the next time we play, and I think it's important that he did give someone like Patterson a bit of a run out, and I thought, he did okay when he come on and showed him that we have got a strong squad and there's players out there ready to come on and do their bit. So, overall, I thought it was fantastic. Claudio, you probably agree with everything we say anyway. When you second half, it was complete performance for me.
I was bored. No.
Important is that next goal is important, isn't it? And to get it.
This is what worried me when they put those two balls through, and the guy should have done a lot better on both occasions where we were undecided what to do, and they just had two really poor shots, didn't they? Well, one went wide, and one went nearly killed somebody in the stand behind the goal. He hit it that hard. But to me, if that was Leeds United now, everyone would be saying, well, what do you expect? They're the best team in the division. That's how you beat a team like Sunderland. We were that good yesterday, I think. And it was a day where I just wish that performance we'd have played like that against Leeds United, because that would have been a different game altogether. That was a proper performance. Second half, we absorbed, very little pressure, to be honest. Because we're basically on the front foot the entire time. And the way you're saying about Torp, the way he put his backside into that player, like the pass was perfect, wasn't it? Absolutely perfect. And
it was a fantastic finish, little dink, wasn't it, over the keeper?
He just had the bit between the teeth, didn't he? He just knew he'd got the beating of him. And 09 is I don't know how to describe him as a player. I just don't like him. He's had a great career and all the rest of it, but he's one of those players where you want him in your team, maybe, but on that showing, I wouldn't. Absolutely useless, I thought, yesterday. Terrible. I
think he's one of those players, isn't he, that you only like if he plays for you, because he had a bit of a wind-up and stuff.
But only when he plays well, because he does have games sometimes where he's flying in, he's just missing tackles, he's all over the place, isn't he? But Haji Wright, he's too much for him. And they look like a young team, I thought, in that game. And they have got loads of injuries and he's struggling. And I think we just played him off the park. And that second half was excellent, really. It was the most complete game I've seen in years. at the CBS in terms of a win, and that's why it's so satisfying, wasn't it?
Yeah, we're struggling to pick faults, aren't we? Really, because there wasn't really any faults. I don't think anybody had a bad game, but they all put their effort in. They all did a bit, and they did their bit for the team. And I thought, it was, as you say, it was a complete team performance, and we don't get many games like that, unfortunately. But there's always a little blip somewhere. But that was probably nearest you're going to get to it, and a long way that continue. So, and we've still got players to come back. You got Sheaf, you got Redoni. We were talking about the midfield, like Redoni. Redoni, you say, got to come back into the team, Claudio. Who do you drop then at this stage after yesterday?
Oh. I wasn't expecting that one.
You said he'd come straight back in. That's what you said.
Well, that's a good question. Now you've said that. I know, yeah, it caught me out there. To be honest, I would still play him instead of Torp at the minute, because he's going to get you more. He's that midfielder is going to get in the box and get you goals that way. And there's room for Redoni in that team, but that's the only that's the only player you could take out, unless you take Jamie Allen out. But then you lose that bit of pace in there.
When you say Torp, though, Claudio, about Redoni being that one to go in the box and get your goals, Torp has got a few goals this season. So it is a proper juggling act if they're all fit. It's like you said, that's what you want, isn't it? But because at the minute, Redoni's our player of the season, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I agree with that. Over the season, he's been fantastic. But I just think the next game, he's got to start the team that he played on Saturday out of the complete performance. I know Redoni may be fit, but he may have to go on the bench and come on. But I just think, to be fair to everybody that performed on Saturday, I think he's got to start that same team. I don't know about. What do you think, Vicky? Do you think Redoni should come straight back in?
Oh, it's really hard, isn't it? Because he's been miles the best player of the season. So you think he deserves his place back, but equally, the players who played so well on Saturday deserve the reward of going out again. So that's a hard call, isn't it? I'm not sure that I'd really want to be ranking that situation. I think, but for me, the switch has got to be Torp and Redoni. I'd agree with Cardi there. I think that's a sort of natural switch. And I think Torp has come on a lot in recent weeks, but I still find him a little bit hit and miss. Like, I didn't think he was great against Derby, and I didn't think he was great against Burnley. I think he struggles more. He's better at home for whatever reason. He seems to not be the same player away. Whereas I feel like Redoni's more consistent. I think he's offered more in more games this season, home or away. And so for me, that probably made me lean towards Redoni. But there's an argument either way, isn't there? Really, it's a nice choice. It's a nice choice to have, isn't it?
Yeah, and I know what Frank would say. It's a squad game. He's got a squad, and they're all part of it. And you might have to pick players depending on what team we're playing and who we're up against. And you might have to change tactics, so you might have to change different players for that sort of reason. Chris, would you bring Redoni straight back?
I think it depends on how well he's recovered from the shoulder injury, really. If there's any question mark on his fitness, then I would start him on the bench and bring him on, and build his minutes back up. And that way it gives everyone a fair chance. But eventually, Redoni's been one of our better players this season. He deserves ultimately to have his place back until he starts playing badly again. And especially now he's one of us on away days as well.
Well, yeah, he's certainly one of us. He was in the fact that he was very disappointed as he left Pride Park on Tuesday night, just like we were. So could have done with him out there, to be honest. But yeah, obviously Redoni's been fantastic for us, but I don't know. It depends. Sheffield's going to be a difficult game away from home, and you're right. We might need Redoni in that situation. Away from home, it's going to be completely different from what we're playing at home. The setup might be different as well, mightn't it? So we might need Redoni in there, but yeah, you're probably difficult, isn't it? Really difficult. You want to give everybody a good chance that performs so well. You don't want to drop anybody, but Radoni it has been shown as over the season so far. He's been consistent, hasn't he? Don't have many bad games, does he? And he comes up with the odd goal here and there, doesn't he, as well? So, that's a good thing about him. So, yeah, you probably, if I was going to make a change, it'd probably be Donny for talk, maybe. I'd keep Jamie Allen in if I was going to do that, but it's a difficult one, and it's 50-50. Who would want to be a manager in that situation?
Yeah.
It's hard, but it's a nice selection headache, isn't it? So, any more comments then, Claudia? I'm sure there's plenty coming in.
There is. I will say, though, against Sheffield United, Jamie Allen would be good because of the fact he'll get stuck into Hamer and O'Hare. That's what you need. You need somebody
he knows the game,
to rattle him a bit, to get a foot in, like we did in the home game. I can't remember if Jamie was playing, but I think it was Eccles, wasn't it? Who was doing that?
It was Eccles that did that job very well.
Yeah, he did rattle them big time. So, in a game where we probably should have won, even though they had the man sent off, didn't they? But we should have probably won that. So it's an interesting choice. It depends what he's going to do, because someone's asked Gusto Audio, said, what do you think about the formation we're going to play? That could be the key as well. Do we go to Sheffield United and try and shut up shop and just come away with something? They struggled today against Sheffield Wednesday. They don't. Then another one. The trouble is, the Championship's a weird division, because some teams, like yesterday, if that was the first time you ever watched a Championship match, you're thinking, blimey, they're a good team. You think, you should have seen the other night, though. And that's what it's like. Sheffield Wednesday looked awful as well. I'm thinking, I'm sure they played better than that against us. You know what I mean?
It's down to on the day, isn't it? And as we all know, we keep saying it on here. On the day, anybody can beat anybody in this division. It's been proven time and time again.
I just want to show a couple of photos. This is Steve Curry, I believe, the winner of the scarf.
Yes. Congratulations, Steve, on the owner of that fantastic scarf. Yeah, I've got one myself. Very nice and warm.
Yeah, and also, just for laughs, this is me in 1985, the last time that Sunderland beat us in Coventry, and this is me in the Chesford Grange. Looks
of him.
You actually look a little bit like Miles there.
Those are the days. Those are the days, aren't they? Right, we'll get a comment, shall we?
That's just Chris. Just remind us of that of the event, Micky Quinn event, while we're here, because you're here. You can go through it with the poster up. You can tell us what's going on.
So the Walsgrave working men have organised their third event now. This will be Micky Quinn, following on from the boys of 87 and Noel Whelan. So we've already sold over 100 tickets, so it's selling very, very well. It's by far the most popular one that we put on, and there's actually a chance that this one may actually sell out. So really go and get your tickets. So obviously on the night you're gonna have a quiz raffle. It's hosted by you guys on Sky Blue Fans TV. So it's going to be a great night for all of us to get together to celebrate the end of the season, come what happens, come what may. So see what happens. But just to let you know, a couple of the prizes in the raffle will be, we're going to get his autobiography signed, Who Ate All the Pies. I don't know if anyone's read that, but I've been reading it this week, and it's a great read. So that'll be one of the prizes. And this shirt here, not this one, mine, but one has been bought for Micky Quinn to sign, and that will also be raffled off as well. So,
fantastic.
You'll have to buy a ticket, turn up on the night, and then buy a raffle ticket.
And it's only £10 entry, isn't it? £10?
Yeah, £10 entry. Tickets available online or by the bar if you live close enough. I believe the link is in the description of the videos that you've been posting.
Yeah, that's correct.
It's also, you'll find it on my Facebook and the Walsgrave Working Men Club's Facebook page as well.
All right, then, there you go. Anybody free on that night, you may go and get your tickets. It's going to be a fantastic night. I'm sure Micky Quinn will have plenty of stories to tell from over the years that he's been playing. Not just for Coventry, he played for a few clubs, Pompey and a few others. Claudia?
Newcastle,
Newcastle, of course.
It's funny, because when I used to play up front, some bloke come to watch me play. Somebody I used to work with. He goes, "Oh, you remind me of Micky Quinn." Now, I don't know if that was a compliment or he meant I was just fat. No, I'll take that.
Sky Blue Flex just put a comment up here. I've just seen it. Got my tickets for the Micky Quinn night. Really looking forward to it. There'll be a great guest with some cracking tales and tell, hopefully. Yeah, I'm sure he will, Fletch. Thank you very much. He's got his tickets, so make sure you go onto the website and get your tickets.
All right, so Gusto Audio. If Haji hadn't been missing for 4 months, we'd probably be where Sunderland are. Rich T, even playing as well as we did, third goal was a relief. Oh, definitely. I did say to Brian, who was sat next to him, I says, it's almost like I get the big fat cigar out at 3-0, couldn't you? It's so, I just thought it was that easy in the end. It was such a, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it looked that way because we were just so in command. It was just, how many we were going to get. We had to settle for 3 in the end, but could easily have been more.
Loved it. Loved every minute of it. 70 minutes, Alan looked knackered running back into our own area for about 20 seconds, then bang, recharge. That's from Trevor Merriman. Tully, Brian Tully in Coventry. Rich Tea biscuits are best when dunked. They are, but they're not like they used to be. We've been talking about this today, actually, until then all of a sudden I lost one in my coffee. That wasn't very good, was it? See, the thing that bothered me when I'm watching stuff on telly, from Derby performance to yesterday's, it's why we love football from Mad Frankie here. Even though, what a fabulous performance and result yesterday from Casa 51. Wright almost unplayable, and Jamie turned into David Silva. Assassins Unite, Derby was a blip. We all said it, and we have proven right. But Derby won again, didn't they? They've won 3 in a row now. So, fair play to Eustace getting them going. Alan is Iniesta, Grimes is Busquets, Torp is Xavi. I used to say that about when it was O'Hare, Hamer and Alan. That's what they used to remind me, because all 3 of them were quite little, and not the Busquets bit, but I classed O'Hare as Messi. Obviously he's not. But he was a sully old Messi, wasn't he? And the way they used to go around in the 3 of them, it used to be great. All this without Radoni. Where's he going to play now? Well, we'll see. Dawn Cook says, Vicky, leave the impressions to Claudio. Oh, you did.
My Ali McCoy's, yeah.
Scottish accent, yeah.
Wayne Littlewood, plagiarism at its finest, yes. Gusto Audio, Shakespeare made a living out of it, didn't he? Joe Bellingham was totally anonymous. Think I only heard the commentator say his name once when he was penalised for a foul at the start. And as mentioned somewhere by Brian Tully, we were first on the EFL thing. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I'm normally asleep by the time we come on. It's...
Well, they were there, weren't they? The show was presented from.
Yeah. I was quite impressed with that. Gavin Collins, hi all. Alan, absolutely fantastic performance. 100% the most complete performances of the season so far. Don't agree with the stick Sims gets. He's contributed and won us games on the run we've had. Fans have short memories. Wright was awful on Tuesday at Derby. Superb Saturday. Richard Taylor said City to finish 4th. Blimey. Colin Bramfield, Jamie Allen, man of the match. Tom Baker, Chrissy, my birthday too. So must be, when's that then, I wonder? Oh, is that
West Brom game?
West Brom game. Ben Green, Alan was a man possessed yesterday. And the interesting thing, he gave him the captain's armband, didn't he?
Yeah.
So not only he comes in, Kitchen had the armband against Derby, didn't he? And he gave it to Alan. So that was interesting, I thought. Tats. Now, we're going to talk about this, weren't we? Because in our little conversation before the show, we're saying, the difference Grimes has made, but Sakamoto, weren't we, Ken?
Yeah, definitely. Grimes is fantastic. He's just like a well-oiled machine, isn't he? He just sits there and he can read the game so well. Very, very rarely did he give the ball away. Most of his passes go to a Coventry player. Very rarely it goes to somebody else. And he's just fantastic player. He just sits there and he can read the game so well. And that's one of the reasons why we've been doing so well lately, because of his performances. So whether he can play with Sheaf if Sheaf comes back, we don't know, because they both, as we said before, they're both sort of similar sort of players in a way, aren't they? But Grimes, for me, has been fantastic signing, and he keeps us going, and he reads the game so well.
Well, he's 74 passes, and only 7 didn't reach somebody.
Yeah.
And what I'll tell you what I have noticed. Well, go you, Vicky, first. He was doing some extraordinary outside the boot, inside the boot passing. Then all of a sudden, Liam Kitchen's doing it. Bobby Thomas is trying it. They're all trying these speculative passing. I'm thinking that must be rubbing off on the players. They're all having a go now.
You can do it, mate. So can I. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, that one that Bobby Thomas did across field. I was just like, where's that come from?
I just thought it must have. I mean, you were saying about Sakamoto. I think he's just been wonderful the last few games.
Yeah.
He's because we were worried, weren't we, whether a couple of bad injuries and the sort of rough treatment he'd had and sort of knocked his confidence and whether we'd ever get back to where he was. I think I've seen in the comments, and I agree with somebody who said that I think he's better than he's got back to his best, and now he's exceeding that. I think the last few games he's been immense, really. Sakamoto, and so just adds so much on that side, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, at the minute,
confidence is a massive thing, isn't it? And he's got his confidence back, and he's not scared to take people on. Yeah, there was one bad challenge on him, weren't there, which resulted in a bit of a scuffle, didn't it, between the players down on the touchline? But they all stuck up for him, and they all got in there, and fair play to them. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad of a tackle in the end, but he's got his mojo back, as we say.
So, as a squad, then, if I asked you to, because Chris has disappeared. All right, I'm going to go for the team. It's just yes or no. No ifs and buts and maybes. I want a yes and no. Simple as that. Droppable or not droppable? Oh, Chris is back. So I want yes and no. Well, drop or not. Right? Those you definitely have to start regardless, right? If it's a doubt...
For the next game.
Whatever. In terms of starting 11, which of these players you think, when I say their name, you have to keep in? So you keep or maybe? Maybe meaning you're not sure. Right, okay. Obviously. Dove
in or out?
Dove in. Anybody?
In.
In.
Yeah.
In.
Milan.
In.
In.
Did you say bin, did you, Ken?
In. Not bin.
So, as a pairing, Thomas and Kitchen.
In.
Yeah, I've got to stick with them. In.
Oh, Vicky's which one's maybe? Which one's a maybe? Which one's in?
I'd keep Thomas in. So in for Thomas, Kitchen maybe.
So Kitchen's the one you like. Whoever comes in, you're not. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Right, this is the big one: Bidwell or De Silva.
After yesterday, De Silva for me.
Vicky?
De Silva. Yeah, De Silva.
Ken? You're Frank Lampard. It's Thursday before the game. Who you pick, Bidwell or De Silva?
It depends who we're playing.
No. We're playing Sheffield United.
If you're up against a big, hefty team, then it's got to be Bidwell. If it's a team that are not so big and strapping, then I'll play De Silva.
Yeah, but that's some strapping players yesterday, Sunderland. Anyway, right, here. Midfield then. If other players are fit, which one of these would you keep or not? Torp. It doesn't matter who. Would you start him?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Keep.
Ken, what was yours, sorry?
Yes, in.
Yeah. Chris?
Yeah, I'd keep him in.
Okay. Oh, I won't even ask you about Grimes. We'll move on to Allen. Jamie Allen.
Drop him.
So, Jamie Allen. Is
No,
he in?
In.
In. Okay.
Yeah.
In for me
Yeah,
as well.
maybe.
So, yeah, it's interesting to see. It's quite difficult, isn't it? So, the three up front. No. Mason Clark, for me, is nailed on. He's superglued in that position as far as I'm concerned. So, Mason Clark, in or not, maybe?
In.
You can play this at home as well, people. And
In.
then you've got
In.
Sakamoto. Sakamoto, a definite, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
There's no And of course, then the big question is, if we have one up front, who do we go with? Wright or Sims? There's Bissett, there's Thomas Asante, there's a load of them, isn't there? So, we'll see what Micky, going into the next game, he scored a hat-trick, so I suppose you'd say in, wouldn't you? But,
yes.
So on the basis he scored a hat-trick in. It is difficult. It is difficult. It is difficult when you've got a half-decent squad.
I think you've got to use them to drive each other on, don't you? Like, so they're in, and then if they underperform, they're out, and somebody that's like chomping at the bits in. That should hopefully propel us through the rest of the season, shouldn't it? Because you keep Wright in, he's got a hat trick, but he knows there's other strikers that want that spot. So if he turns up like he did against Derby, he's out, and someone else comes in. So if he wants that spot, he's going to play like that. And that's what there's a few positions like that where I think that there's somebody that could steal the spot. So you got to play your best each week, and hopefully that'll do us well for the rest of the season, really, because that strength and depth. I mean, it's amazing where how that's something developed, because earlier in the season we were like, there's no depth, and now all of a sudden we're struggling to pick our best 11, aren't we?
Yeah, it's interesting because at that forum I went to, the meeting with Jack and Doug King was there, and somebody asked the question, do you feel vindicated because of where we are on the table now? And he says, I don't like to use that word. It's just something I felt had to be done, is basically what you said. Because he said you can't predict where we're going to be. He didn't know how it was going to turn out. He just felt we needed a change. We needed change behind the scenes as well, the coaching and all that. It just needs to change. So at the minute, you could say he may feel it's going okay, but he said, like he said, it could all change. So it's, and you're right. I predicted third. Ken predicted to go up automatics. Miles did. So in our heads, we felt confidence at the start of the season. So that performance we saw on Saturday is what we probably expected at the start of the season at Stoke away.
Yeah.
After the two friendlies. So to me, although it's a surprise after the Derby game, it's what I expected, to be honest, at the start of the season. It's took them.
That's when we came away from that Everton game, didn't we, Claudio? That Everton game, and we were all thinking, this is our season, automatics, it's going to be the best season ever. And then it just sort of turned into a damp squib the first few games, didn't it, unfortunately?
But even the cup game against Tottenham early in the season, I know we lost, but that was a good performance. Great to see.
I like this comment here. Look, Doug Burnham, but there's so many ins and outs on here. I've just got up and done.
Well, Doug, I'm glad you kept that clean. and Doug also says, great to see the words for "We Live and Die" on the scoreboard. For those of us who can't remember them, I've finally realised you don't need two blocks either side of the away fans for segregation. And isn't it funny how some fans aren't moaning about there's no atmosphere because the away fans aren't right next to us? Well, they're right next to some of our fans because we're in the corner.
No, there was only a couple of rows of seats between them, weren't there? Not like Oxford when we had a whole block.
Yeah. Because you know what those Oxford fans are like. They might come over and hit you with some literature. That would scare a lot of the Cov fans, actually, if they showed them a book. What's this you're showing me? I ain't going to read that. Adam Tom's evening. Good to meet Claudio and Miles before the game. It's good to meet you as well, Adam, yes. If only Wembley did loyalty cards, we'll all be rolling in it.
Oh, God, yeah. We'd have loads of points, wouldn't we?
You know what I said to Caroline? This is so funny. I thought at the time, we were watching the start of the cup final today, and they panned round, and where we sat, Chris, on top of the raw box.
Oh, yeah.
I went, oh, yeah, look, there's my seats. I thought I'm going to go back there again this year.
I think Newcastle had our end, didn't they? What we call our end, where we normally go.
I just thought it was funny. I just said, there's our seats.
Oh, yeah, you're that well known now. When you get back to that seat for the playoff final, it's going to have your name on it, like a little.
Make sure it's got your name on it. Sports photos. Cloud exactly right about the central defenders needing to have De Silva's back. Oggy has said that numerous times, and De Silva has been getting stuck. Yeah, that's the only thing I don't think we've sorted yet, is that bit where they've got to decide to go. You've got to go. You've got to gamble. You've got to get across there, and then allow the midfielder like Grimes or whoever else is playing deep to cover him. Somebody's got to do it. Wayne Littlewood, Craig, spot on. Sims as a lone striker, you may as well play with 10, as he's not with it. With the pairing, Sims can be decent. He's mellow, doesn't he? It's amazing what it's like when we've had a win.
We need to snapshot this.
I'm going to get a t-shirt for Wayne with Sims is all right, really, on it. Something like that. And on the back, and Eccles too. Great performance all round Saturday. Even the kick it for the ticket bloke scored from the halfway line. Fantastic.
Yeah, he did actually, only just rolled in, but he got there.
It's funny because when somebody was doing that, somebody in the box said something like Haji Wright saying, I reckon the only reason he played the other week was on Tuesday was he won kick it for a ticket and they give him a game instead. I thought it was quite funny, that was. I've just been looking through my old bets online. I got 7-1 on top 6 on the 23rd of January. That's from Dan. And Lee Beckett said, What do you do? We've covered that, haven't we? Has he offered you anything yet, Chris?
No.
No. He'll do anything. He said.
Easy.
Goodbye, Chris. If you do buy one, get one free, you've got a deal. Lee Dan, there's lots of pictures and memories around the stadium, but wouldn't it be nice to have some murals, I think that's meant to be, isn't it? Inside the stadium, like with have panel thoughts. Well, everything around the stadium and in it, the club are paying for, and this is what was discussed about there's different levels of what's really important. So that they're trying to do as much as they can to make it feel like our home. But you're right, they've made a start, haven't they, with putting some stuff inside the concourse, but it's been ages since I've been in there. I've forgotten what it looks like.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
It's been a long time. Have they painted it since I've been in there? I can't remember. And
last season, I used to see Claudio every game. I don't see him at all anymore.
So, I wish they'd do some at the main entrance when you go in, where all the lounges are. It's just, if it was our stadium, it'd be absolutely magnificent in there with the amount of people that go in there. But we can't do anything, can we? That's the problem, because we don't own the flipping ground. Hope this break benefits us and not hinders us. Would you prefer no break, says Finn. It always comes at the wrong time sometimes, doesn't it, when we're
playing well.
Yeah. But then again, have Sheffield got many international players in Burnley? I don't know. We could do with a few.
I'm not sure how many of them go on international break, but it probably come at the right time for us, because it gives players like Vidoni and Chief and those who are injured to get back to fitness. When we're playing well as we are.
We've got Dovin and De Silva, haven't we, in the first team? Because Wright's not been selected, has he? No,
Wright's not going anywhere, which is probably good, because we don't want him getting injured again, do we?
Yeah.
Assassins United, bad weekend for Sunderland. Celtic fan. Congrats to Newcastle. None of us was born in 1955. I know, I can't do my joking. No, the last time they won anything that was in black and white, that's why they play in black and white. I can't do that anymore. that joke bin now. I've been doing it for about 40 years.
It's probably done you a favour.
I know, loosely, I joke. Loosely. The boy, incredible result. Grimes, Mason, Alan Torp, Sakamoto, MVP made Wright's day so easy on Saturday. The summer window is huge for us. Left back, centre back, and backup for MVE needed. It was a game, I thought, where you could, apart from the keeper, didn't have to do anything. Anybody could. I mean, Wright got the hat trick, but anyone, you could have picked anyone. Going, they did have a great game.
Yeah.
You know. Dark Farts. Could we get rid of Sims and get Sands from Norwich? Yeah, but they're struggling at the minute, aren't they? They're virtually out of it now.
Yeah, they are.
we should have beaten Millwall at home. I know we got some results on the way. We should have beaten Cardiff. Should never have lost at Norwich. This would have been even more ridiculous, this run of results.
Derby at home as well.
And he's turning CBS into a fortress. Is that 1 defeat in 12 or something now?
Yeah, so that's 4 straight wins at home, isn't it?
4 straight wins at home.
Yeah.
So he did, I think 7 might be the most. We did 5 and then Derby drew with us, didn't they, I think, when we first went back to the CBS. We had a 0-0. I think 6 or 7's the most, I think. I'll have to check that up. Jim will know. Doug Bowden, the Mackham Caddy, you were right in your prediction the other day. You weren't expecting a lot of the game. I've listened to quite a few of their podcasts, and they're very, very good, actually. There's no ranting and raving. They're just saying how awful they were and how we completely bossed them. Assassins Unite, we're on our way, Claudio. We have tricky games to play, but we have to play for the bottom 7. No easy game, but it's 11 points that we need. Yeah, but Portsmouth don't travel well, so that's a good game to have at our place. Luton away, it depends where they are.
Well, there could be another situation. We could be able to go into Luton. We might have to win. We could relegate them.
Yeah. If they need to win to stay up, they'll beat us. I'll tell you that now.
Well, I don't know. Pressure's on. It'd be nice. It'd be nice to relegate. That'd be a bit of an irony, wouldn't it? Relegating Luton after what they did to us in the playoff final.
Well, yeah, it would be. And if they do go down, the first thing I'd do is try and sign that Adebayo, where his name is up front. Yeah. They've got some players. I mean, I don't know what's happened to them because they're not a bad team. They're not a bad squad of players, but they've just fallen right off it, haven't they? Incredible. They've done a Wigan and a Reading. They did the same, didn't they, when they come out of the Premier League? Absolutely collapsed. But the thing is, they kept the money because they want to build that stadium. They haven't strengthened the team or done anything, which is a mistake, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah.
It's Ray, carry on. What a great position to be in for Frank once we had Rodoni and Sheaf back. Who gets left out? Consistency till the end of the season. We're in the playoffs. I feel sorry for Ben. It's just had a terrible year, hasn't he, really?
Yes.
And he was so good for us before he got injured. It's had such an awful year.
Well, we were all talking about how much we miss him and we couldn't wait for him to get back, could we? And
it makes you laugh, doesn't it? Because he was it last season? Played the season or the season before. It was just so good for us. So good. And I think we're a bit dismissive just because you have a couple of, he's been way, I mean, he played in some of the games that we've won in. But, it's like we berate a player for getting injured.
He's just been really unlucky with injuries, hasn't he? And I think, unfortunately, for Sheep as well, he's always been the sort of player that needs a few games to get back to the best version of himself. And because he keeps just picking up the injuries, he hasn't really had a chance to do that this season, has he? And it's a shame. But like you said, I mean, player of the season last season, it's still in there, isn't it? It's just he needs a bit of luck with some injuries.
Chris, do you reckon in the past they brought him back too early? Because that's what I think sometimes.
What, with Sheaf?
Yeah.
I think so. I think we were in a bit of a desperate situation with our midfield at the start of the season, and I think he was rushed back, and I think it went very badly, and I think it's really had a massive knock-on effect where he just can't get to a point of being fully fit. Obviously, he missed most of the pre-season, and that's probably the domino effect that's took place here.
Yeah, I think we've done it before when Mark was in charge, where he brought people back because we had to. And who decides? How do they decide? I'd love to know. Actually, we need to speak to somebody to find out who decides that they think the player's fit, because he clearly wasn't when he came back. No. That's true.
We did the same to Dabo as well, did it?
Sorry, Vicky.
Yeah.
I was going to say, sorry. I was going to say we did the same to Dabo as well. We did the same to Dabo as well, didn't we? We rushed him back and he was playing when he was still carrying an injury and never really recovered from it. So we've done that to a few players, unfortunately. And then people forget, don't they? Because Dabo was player of the season in League One, and then
he was never playing when he had come back from that injury, was he? Lost all his pace. And
shame that playoff final.
I do think they just seem to get rushed back because we were desperate. And especially, you're saying the start of the season, definitely. This is from Dawn. Oh, here you go, Dawn. Love that Kitchen squared up to the player after they shoved Tats over before the corner. Said, you want to pick on someone, pick on me. Clear as day on the playback. Fight, wherever we be. We are the boys from Coventry. Oh, yeah.
I've heard that before. 2 times.
Does Dawn sit next to you, Vicky?
No, she's a bit in front of me.
Oh, I bet you're glad of that.
She's there enough to protect me if I need it.
You both sit near the away fans giving it.
Oh no, we used to though. We used to back in the Highfield Road, like that little corner of the West Terrace.
You want to watch out in case she starts jumping over the hoardings.
All right.
Yeah, don't mess with Dawn.
Blimey. Think back to what Fad said about Liam Kitchen being a Prem player. That's why Binks isn't getting a game, from Mark Reed. Adam Toms, we need Haji to bag a few more hat-tricks and keep more clean sheets to boost the goal difference. Looking low compared to those around us and could be crucial. Are we the 4th highest scorers or something in the league? It's something bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
We're right up there, I think. I think we're quite high. Someone will tell us. Saranji student. I told Jamie Allen he was my favourite player when I met him before the Bremen friendly. Glenn Watkin. Hume punched Sakamoto, got away with it. He did actually. You can see it on the video. Yeah. Ian Small, a stat for you. Sims lovers. 2013 minutes played, 30 successful layoffs. That is 1 every 67 minutes. Bobby McFarlane's song, Don't Worry, Be Happy, we're on the march with Lampard's army. Futech, that performance is the blueprint for how we should aim to play in this league every time. Aggressive, first to every first and second ball, backing each other up all over the pitch. Brian Tully, agreed, we owe the Baggies one big time. Talking of random things in the crowd, me and my mate noticed that not wheeling thing when they showed his goals. There was one bloke. What was that then?
When there's one in the home, but
one bloke, not jumping up and down, you mean? Yeah.
That's interesting. Graham Cochran, if you had 13 more people at home game, it would have been a record crowd. I think we'll break the crowd record before the end of the season. I think I mentioned this. The problem they've got with the lounges is that because there's more people up there and you have to have tables and chairs, they can't sell enough tickets to fill the seats that are up that top balcony unless you take all the tables and chairs out to allow more people up there. And now it's absolute chaos because there's no real student up there. People come out, they don't know where they're sitting. It was absolute nonsense on Saturday. They don't engage at all, some of the stewards at all.
No.
Yeah. People show the ticket, they just wave them down there somewhere. You know.
I assume if it's that chaotic, Claudio, we'll see you back in block 18 for Burnley.
I must say about Derby on Tuesday night, I must have my ticket checked about 4 times.
Yeah.
But 3 times outside the ground as we were approaching, and then a couple, at least twice probably about 5 times inside the ground, telling us where to go, and they were looking at the ticket. So they were well on it at Derby, the stewards, and they did telling you make sure you're sitting in your right place, etc., and you had the right ticket, because they were asking it all the time. So, but after not like that for some reason, I don't know why. But
I rang up ahead. I said, "There's a bloke coming in a black gilet, goes by the name of Ken." You need to check.
Yeah, I did see somebody did take a mystery photo of me as well.
Yeah, we did take a dodgy photo of me. Yeah. I always love it when you take a photo of somebody and then you send it to them, and then they look behind them to where I'm thinking, no, the photos of your face were obviously in front of you. You're looking behind.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, by the way, all you lovely people out there. We're not far off our, 2K, I believe, isn't it? So, it doesn't cost you anything. Like and subscribe our channel. It's free, absolutely free. Although you can pay for it if you want to, as Miles has said. Just press the like.
Miles a hard sell.
Three for the time being. If you want to do it that way, that's fine. And the more the merrier. The more the merrier, please. So it helps our stats at the end of the month keep going up. That's good.
We could send Miles on the streets like the man from the Peru and go door knocking, couldn't we? Do that. He could even sing, couldn't he? I think he'd be good at that, Miles. He'd be good at singing.
He's a very good singer on the karaoke, actually, yeah.
No, I know he can, yeah. So we could come around and sing. Brian Tully says, 100 quid for a shout out. I'll do you one on the radio for 95. Brian Tully from Hills FM. There you go. There's a local chart show. Fran Hunter says, may not be popular, but with some this, but while Frank deserves a ton of credit, so does Doug King. Many sliced him early in the season, but he's doing us proud at the minute with his own money. Anthony Pettifer, is our deck now all ship-shaped? Don't know yet. I still wait till the end of the season. I just don't know. I know we're in there at the minute, but we're Cov City, aren't we? A bit later. By the way, apart from probably the top three, everybody else is saying the same thing as I've probably just said then. Especially going for something, I don't know, where Norwich are, I don't know, where, Millwall, West Brom, yeah. We're all the same as fans. I mean, Norwich must be gutted. They were flying when, what's his name, came back, the American up front. Sargent, yeah. He looked such a handful against us, didn't he? JJ Petch, a bit late on here, so catching up. Haji Wright is either 4 out of 10 or 9+. There's no middle. I think you're right. This is what we said. Let's see what happens at Sheffield if he starts. Well, it's good to see Callum Wilson and Jacob Murphy feature in the Newcastle Cup win. They've come a long way since the Cov days. I did think that when I saw Callum step out, I did think, yeah, well done, mate. Yeah, we'll have him next season then when his contract's up. And Eccles doesn't have a football brain. That's why Allen was 100 times better, and letting his ball through his legs at Derby was embarrassing.
I never want to Wayne Littlewood's accounts.
I like this one here. I like this one from Craig Robinson. Get Miles to walk around CBF in a sandwich board to promote the podcast.
Well, he used to be Sky Blue Sam, didn't he? So he's done that before.
Yeah, he's got experience, yeah.
He's going to wish he never had the night off.
Look at this one, Vicky. Here's one for you, look.
Ooh.
Great show, fellas. And Vicky, the brains of the operation.
My head's going to explode.
Anyway, I've got a question for you all, by the way. Go on, we have a couple more. Go on, in a minute. Go on, a couple more comments.
So, Andrew Student, the reason why we weren't very good following international break was one player who now plays for our opposition next game now. I see what you mean. We beat Fulham 4-1 on Legends Day. That's true, we did, didn't we?
No, it weren't Fulham, it was Sheffield United. Callum Moore got a brace.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We also beat Bury 6-0 once upon a time when I was stronger. Mudders on Legends Day.
He's just got up that's up there. Lee
Dan says, it's very common-esque, isn't it? We're either really good on Legends Day or really bad. And so I suppose that just sums us up generally.
Lee Dan, commentators attracting a lot of interest around the country, especially Uncle Harry, who chats to Lamps as he travels home. Shout out to Lamps, who travels hours to London after every home game. Ian Timlott, we have a good history against North East teams. We beat Middlesbrough in the playoffs after a great league win against them. We're a bit crap against Newcastle, though. I know that for a fact. Lee Beckett says, like all promoted teams, Mackham Cabby. Oh, we've got Mackham Cabby. Oh, look, here he is. He says, how do you think you're doing the Prem? Yes, well,
got to get there first.
No. Mackham Cabby, we've got no idea how we're going to get on in the Prem, to be honest. Yeah.
Depends what level we start with, really.
I think we should ask that question in the summer because we have got no clue. Got to get there first. It's going to be hard. But it'd be nice, but it'll be hard, as we know.
Janet, in the warm-up, says, my granddaughter got hit with a ball by a Sunderland player. Why do they use the nets that are there if not the first time fans have been hit by the away teams in the warm-up? Oh, they're only down one end then, are they? Which end were they warming up in?
Oh, they warm up down the opposite end to the away fans, don't they? The away team.
A friend of mine, his wife got hit at Tottenham and actually knocked her out in the warm-up.
Yeah, it can be quite dangerous. I remember somebody sitting next to me with a hot coffee and he got hit with the ball and the coffee went everywhere. It can be quite dangerous. And
They're not doing nets anymore.
Well, that's what she said. I don't know if they walk down the end.
We never had those nets in like the League One, League Two days. I remember a time when I went with my wife and we were playing Chesterfield away and someone had smacked. I was just seeing this ball coming over. I thought, that's heading for my wife, that is. Now, rather than like do anything, I just sat there watching and someone next side of me has just jumped over me to smack the ball away just as it's got there. But yeah, it could be dangerous. I think it's just one of those. It's, you know.
I don't know if you remember when Luton banned away fans years ago. And I had a friend of mine who's a Luton Town season ticket holder. He got me and my wife 2 tickets. And obviously we're banned, aren't we? Any away fans. And we sat in, well, every end was a home end. And the bloke 2 seats away from me got hit with the ball in the warm-up. It was David Speedy that did it. And the thing is, I thought, shit, I need to swear then. If it hits me or my wife, we're going to have to then say where we're from. Obviously, they're going to realise we're not Luton Town fans. And my mate who gave me the ticket will probably get banned by Luton Town because he's not supposed to do that. I thought the consequences of just because David Speedy can't hit a flipping ball properly in the wall. But, yes, not nice. But
I've got a question for you all. 8 games left. How many points do we need then to get into the playoffs, would you say, out of them 8 games? Chris?
I know I'm going to have to do maths on here. I don't know. I mean, breaking it down, I think we're going to need at least, we're on 59 now?
Yeah.
I think we're going to need to get 70 plus.
Yeah, I was thinking 70, 71. Vicky, what would you say? 8 games left. How many would we need to win?
Yeah, so I think I had 70 points as well. So what we did, sort of probably 5 more wins.
Yeah, it's got to be, isn't it? You've got to look at 5 to be on the safe side, because 71 sort of been I don't know what the cut-off was last year. I presume it'd be around the 69 points, 70 was it last year? I presume. Claudia, what do you say? Yeah.
If we win off 4 remaining, is it how many home games we've got left now? 4.
Yeah, 4 away. Yeah.
We win those 4, we're going in the playoffs. So 12 points, I think we'll do it because you take points of the baggies, won't we? For a start. So that's going to put us, 5 points clear of them straight away, as things are. Middlesbrough, I think we can do them at home if we have to. Yeah. I'm hoping, like Tom to Luton, we're in there already.
Yeah.
Well, we said it. I know we lost to Derby. We were saying, though, when Sunderland come in, we're the team who've won so many games. We are the form team.
Yeah, and they won't look playing us.
Yeah, 10 wins. If that's the start of the season, we're top of the league.
Yeah,
we're almost as good as Leicester were in that record-breaking season last season, whatever it was, where they won straight 11. 10 wins in 12 matches. Get your heads around that. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts, I think.
It also makes you think back to the start of the season, because that means a poor start could potentially end up costing us again for the 3rd season in a row.
Exactly. That's what I said. If we don't get in the playoffs, it's not because of what's happened after Christmas. It's what happened up to November, and our home form was shocking. It's so frustrating. There's at least 3 games at home. We know we should have beat those teams.
Yeah.
Derby, Sheffield Wednesday. I would go as far as saying Norwich when we played them at the time. these are games we should have won. And you're looking at 9 points. Oh, happy days. Look, we're on 68. We need it. And that's the difference. So
73. Last season, 6 was 73 points. So probably a little bit more than 73. We might just do it 71 this year if you're lucky. But you got to take every game as it comes, haven't you? One game at a time, I suppose, and that's what Frank says, and take it from there because every game's different. But I wouldn't want to go to Luton needed to win. Yeah, hopefully. We don't want
to play Middlesbrough last game of the season. We needed to win either, do we? We want it done just really, before that game.
The quicker you pick up them points, the better. Really. Be interested. Got more comments, Claudia? Oh, we got the Keaton Slater.
Yeah, I'll read it out. Let me get it up.
Because the venue may be changed on this yet. Depends yet, but it's for young Keaton who was tragically killed in that road accident on Radford Road. The venue may be changed, mind it, Claudia?
Yeah, the date's the 14th of June, and join us for a day of celebration with football tournaments, food and inflatables, fun activities and much more. All donations go to the family's chosen charities, and they're all at the bottom there. £1 entry. It may change. And I know you said killed, Ken. He's murdered, basically. And they can't get hold of the git, can they? Which is...
I think he's abroad, isn't he? And they're trying to get extradition rights.
Well, it ain't going to, unfortunately. But yes, and of course, on the Thursday night, we have this.
The great Marco McRosey on the 20th of March. Be fantastic.
Live on Sky Blue Fans TV. Yes, that should be good. On the night, that's Slovakia playing Slovenia. So hopefully he'll be paying attention when we're asking him stuff. Yes, and I'll be doing another history podcast with Jim this week. And we're going to be talking about, I think it's 97-98 season. Or 97-98 season, I think we're doing.
That's your era, Vicky, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Cool. Yeah,
we finished the 11th with Huckabee in Dublin.
So it'd be fantastic, wouldn't it? I did look at that, I'm thinking, oh, come on, can you imagine it? Get Dublin on. But yes, that's when Vicky used to have pigtails, didn't you, Vicky?
Wasn't that young?
When you used to dance with the Sky Blue Bells. Oh dear. God, those were the days, weren't they? Can you believe they used to do that nonsense? Oh, those poor girls, they've been freezing cold. Yeah. Don't forget about the
home parking as well, home and away parking, Claudio. Sometimes we forget to put this up, but it's fantastic. Chance to park your car home or away. If you book it with coventryparking.co.uk, they have got spaces home and away games. So go to the website, give you all the details there. And it's very secure. All their car parks there. You've got a steward looking after all your cars. And they also do coach travel as well. That's ccfctravel.co.uk to all away games. So if you're travelling to Sheffield on that Friday night, you can book your coach with them.
I'll tell you what, that change of day for Hull City has completely screwed up Leamington Warwick because there's so many people going on Saturday and a lot of people just can't make it now. We're literally going up in a taxi. That's how bad it is. Yeah, it's just incredible. So frustrating. If it was done months ago, people can probably think, "Oh, I'll save a day, whatever." Yeah. But so frustrating.
Well, especially being on a Monday night now, you've got to book time off work because it's a midweek. It's gone from a weekend to a weekday, and it's going to be late coming back. You're not going to get back into Coventry till probably 1 o'clock. Maybe later in the morning before you get back. So it's going to be a late one. So it does. They don't think with the fans when they do these games, do they? Obviously, Sky just book them in and that's it, regardless of who you are, where you're playing. That's it. So that's another free Saturday we've got, unfortunately. We're going to play on a Monday night. not a very nice trip to Hull either on a Monday night, is it?
On any night, on any day, it's one of the worst ones, I think.
Yeah.
This is Paul Stratton. I think at least 4 wins, maybe a couple of draws. I think the hardest home game will be Pompey, as they'll be very, very aggressive. Be nice if we win our next 4 matches, and that'd be it, wouldn't it? Surely.
Yeah.
Oh, wouldn't that be fantastic? Would you just keep winning?
Well, as Frank said, take every game at one game at a time and see where it takes us.
I'll be interested in Sheffield. Obviously, we're going to talk about Sheffield when it comes to it, but they give you chances, as they've proved when we played the place. And watching them today, it's that end of the season now where everybody's nervy. People make mistakes. I thought they're a bit fortunate today to win.
Yeah.
Well, City scored in the last minute against them the other week, didn't they? Last week.
Yeah.
1-1, and Bristol City scored right at the death. I know they're looking to go automatically, but it's not over yet at the top, is it? I wouldn't rule out Burnley, because Burnley could still go automatically. Sheffield could be in the playoffs, so you just never know.
So Janet says the North Stand net only on one side.
Okay.
And Dave Sports Photo says that if you pay $1.99 subscription, Miles sings. If you pay the $4.99 subscription, he stops. Well, in that case, if you don't want him to sing, pay the $4.99. And more mix-up pointing out Marco Morosi is joining the team this Thursday. Yes, he is. It's going to be good. It'll be very, very good, actually. And interesting, he was our League One keeper when we got promoted. So there'll be...
Where's he playing now, Claudia? Where's he playing at the moment?
I knew you were going to say that. And it's just...
Can I do everything?
It's just Cambridge.
Cambridge, yeah, he's injured. He's had a operation.
I don't remember what team it was. Cambridge, yeah.
He was at Plymouth, and then they released him, I think. He's gone to Cambridge. He's at Cambridge, but he's got an injury. So
he was at Shrewsbury for a while, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was at Shrewsbury, and then he went to Plymouth and then Cambridge.
Yeah.
But we've seen some of the messages, and he's I won't use the words he used, a bit rude, but he says, "You boys are absolutely flying," is what he said. So,
fair enough.
I think other clubs will be looking at us thinking, we don't want to play Coventry City.
No.
If we were like, I don't know, in the same, say, like a Watford now, and our next game would be Coventry City, and we're a Watford fan, I'd be thinking, I don't want to play them because they keep winning at the minute.
Yeah.
So we should be really confident. I think we should be really, really confident with these last 8 games. Right, this is Dave's sports photo. I like Dave. Claudia, if we start badly next season, some fans will say, relax, we'll come good. No, it'll cost us again. Yeah, it'd be just great to get off to a great start, which is what Mr. King wanted, didn't he? And everybody else were hoping for.
Yeah.
So, but it is in our hands, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah. It's in our hands, and it's up to us to stay there. We're in that place at the moment. But then come and chase us.
Boo Boo Bidwell says, Claudia, it's Shrewsbury, as Ken said, not Shrewsbury. You've been hanging about in too much poshy.
Not Shrew.
Shrewsbury. Right, I think we've come to the end, Ken. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's been a good show. I think we've covered nearly everything we needed to. We've gone on longer than we need to, I think. I mean, you've enjoyed it, Chris, haven't you? Been good?
Yeah. I always love coming on here with you guys. I've been doing it for well over a year now. I've been coming on like regular interviews. I've loved every time coming on.
Let's just remind you before we go of the Micky Quinn night. Let's put that back up again, Claudio. Micky Quinn night. And you can tell us about it again before we leave. So just in case anybody out there wants to get tickets, we've got the poster. We're going to put it up now. Claudio is desperately searching for it.
So yeah, Friday the 2nd of May. Doors open at 7 p.m. It's £10 quiz and raffle. Over 100 tickets sold already. So we're well on the way to, especially with a month and a half to go. Potentially this could sell out. So get your tickets in nice and early if you do want to be there. If you're on the fence, we're going to do a nice raffle and quiz for you on the day as well. Obviously hosted by the lovely Sky Blue Fans TV crew. And
we'll all be there. We can't wait. We'll all be there. We always enjoy it when we go down to the Warsgrove Club. Made very welcome. And
of course, in the future, very shortly, we'll be having Matty Godden coming along.
Yes.
But on Thursday, this very Thursday, Marco Morosi will be on screen. Don't miss it. And the wonderful Miles will be back. He's not been feeling great. He's a bit under the weather. I was with him for some of the time yesterday, and he is struggling, unfortunately. I think I've still got a sore throat. I think everyone's getting over something at the minute.
We're all getting over Derby, weren't we, Tuesday night still? But I think it's a little bit better after Saturday. But yeah, get well soon, Miles. I'm sure he'll be okay. Hopefully, to host that show on Thursday. It'll be fascinating. It's always nice when you've got a current player who's still playing that comes on the show and gives his views about what's going on in the football world. So it'll be interesting. I'm sure you'll have your stories.
Matty Godden got 2 goals on Saturday. He's flying at Charlton.
Yeah, he's doing really well. Yeah,
I love that. I love Matty Godden. He's a good guy. And Mostly Love Music says Claudia's just skipped about 50 comments. I'll tell you what.
Really? I didn't know that.
I haven't really. Well, I may have done, but there are so many comments. It's ridiculous. It's fantastic that you all do, and we do read them, but some are very similar to others. So it's, I don't want to keep repeating the same thing. I mean, my wife says I'll do that enough as it is. So why are you leaving me? Why are you leaving me? No. Anyway, look, that's about it. Enjoy your football-free weekend next weekend. We're still here, of course. Thursday is our next live show. We've, of course, got Marco Morosi. We've got a free week next Saturday. We will have a show on Sunday, though. We'll be talking all things Sky, anything about Coventry City basically coming up for the next game and the next few games, important games in the calendar. So there's still plenty to talk about. We'll still have a show on Sunday. But our next show, of course, is on Thursday night with Miles. Enjoy your weekend next weekend, because there's no football. We can all sit back and relax and enjoy England playing in the international. Chris, you'll be looking forward to that? Bit of England international?
Yeah, I always watch England. Love my international football. So I'll be down the pub on Friday night watching England-Albania.
And Thomas Tuchel's first England squad, a quick word about that. Do you think he's got it about right?
No, Henderson's in it.
I'm
not going to go any further on that. There's a couple there that why. Rashford as well. Why is he's barely done anything at Villa, so why is he suddenly back in the squad? But
yeah, there's a few questioning. There's a few questioning on social media about his squad. Vicky, are you going to watch the international games over the next few days? Yeah. And Claudio, I'm not sure if Italy playing or not.
We are. I ain't got a clue we're playing yet. I haven't looked.
Well, yeah, that's how much.
I was just looking now, actually, just checking. Chris, who are we playing? Chris will tell me.
Who are Italy playing? I ain't got a clue.
I
don't think you're playing. I think some of the decent teams that are playing, Claudia.
Yeah, we're playing the Germans. That's who we're playing. So I'll be doing the show. Yeah. I want to do the show Thursday. I might watch Italy-Germany instead. So
I'm sure you'll have it in the background, yeah.
Yeah. So that's who Italy are playing. We're in the quarterfinals of the Nations League. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Should be a good game, that.
It should be a good
game.
Yeah. Right, okay, then that's it then. There is no more, as they say. Thanks so very much, Chris, for coming on, as always.
Thank you very much for having me.
No problem, mate. And thanks, Mickey.
Cheers.
Thank you. And Claudia, as always, thank you. We'll be all back on Thursday evening for the Marco Morosi show with Miles. Join us 7:30 live on this channel. Have a fantastic next few days. And back to work tomorrow, everybody. Play up Sky Blues.
Yeah, play up Sky Blues.
Sky Blue Fans TV, for the fans, by the fans.